Hello and welcome back to Songs of Six. As you can see, my capital has been buried. Buried in booty? Yeah, that's freaking right. Welcome back to Songs of Six. I am the Fiend, and we are loaded to the brim with booty. We have too much booty, and it's kind of ridiculous. We have some dump truck thick Cantors. We've got some Dundarian beastly boys, and we figured out last episode that they are not all short. Half of them are decently tall. Oh, yeah, look at that Cantor coming in. Do, 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 do. Look at that beefy Chad, that blue Chad. What a man. What a hunk. Yeah. Oh my god. Look at him. What a beast. He just swore fealty to me. We have 11 of them. And it looks like... No, those are Bevians. It looks like we can keep getting them, but it's going to be micro heavy. And for this episode, as this is episode 5, and as is tradition, I like to do a little of a recap, something of a recap, I should say, and go over how we're doing, what we're doing, where the series has gone so far, and where I plan to take it. With this episode, there's really nothing I can say other than we started and we exploded. It was a quick one. We are very quickly approached episode 5, and I can't even comment on how far I've made it compared to the other cities because we only have 1,500 guys, but we definitely could keep getting way more, way more, way more. And the only reason why I'm not is because we have so many homeless people. And so what I need to do in the next episode is to cut a lot of stone. But for today, I'm just going to go over for people who haven't been watching the series and would like to catch up, and they don't want to go back and watch 1 through 4. You can start here. This is a good segue. I like to think some people start at episode 5 and then they move to episode 10. Some people don't want to watch that early game progression bullshit, and I don't blame them. I don't really like doing it, and eventually maybe I'll cut it out. But to start off, this was our home. This is where we lived. This is where we started. This little square here. We had our houses set up here, and we had our hole dug straight to the kingdom here, the throne. And that was it. We started off with a couple of little warehouse, little shops, and some of them are still here, like this one, and this one. These were the same spots. Nothing has changed really here. We have the janitor, and we also changed this warehouse, but there was some other like workshops in here, and we expanded them all. Everything is expanded. The current issue we're facing in the city is iron as a dilemma. Oh, look, we got a new Cantor. Awesome. And while I talk, you're going to see me go over here and just free a Dundarian for a second, because I just constantly have to keep sure that the judgment is up there and the Dundarians are happy and the Cantors are happy. So we initially built this food stall and this market, and I haven't really expanded on any of that. I have not really built too much more. I went and kept digging straight through the mountain all the way, and you can see this huge canal goes all the way through. And all of my slaves are just sitting here doing nothing because there's no jobs for them. Look at them all. There's too many of them. And this is where the pumps are. We had them build this pump city, and then we had a fortress built in the clay pit. We don't even need this clay pit anymore. So I'm actually going to remove the clay pit because we have our resources being sent by regions in the world map. So when you make your infrastructure, be aware that once you get even just a single clay pit set up in a region, you will have more clay than you'll ever need in your entire life, like legitimately. And it's kind of busted. I think that Jake may need to tune that in the future because, good lord, I have so much resource. Like 32,000 mushrooms is insane. You should never be making trade deals where you're spending money to buy that stuff. That money that you're spending could be used to get mercenaries to capture yourself a region and then have that resource being sent to you. For just a couple admin points, for 20 or so admin points, I've got plenty of regions that are only like this here, where it's just, if it literally could be that, 40 total and this, and it's sending me herbs, 236 very regularly. But I keep, looks like I kind of brought it down by doing that, but it's okay. I really don't care. These regions will kind of plummet and fall. And that being said, I'll kind of cover what the world map is. This is our kingdom. This is where we started, Short Kingdom. And we captured these two guys immediately. And then for a while, I kind of just chilled. And then I captured every little settlement that was in this area all the way over to here. And then I captured all the way down this cliff, all the way down this mountainside, until I got to the bottom. And these guys, the city of Konings, keep trying to do this. They're like, give me every single thing you have, and we'll pretend like we didn't just have a war and you won it. That's not happening. We have them pretty much destroyed. There's nothing they can do, and we have more money than they'll ever be able to muster. And we have all of their resources, having sacked and raided them for almost a decade now. We captured all this territory from a different region, and then they owned this ocean. If you look at the pink, I own the ocean. The pink is me. So all they have left is this, and their capital over here, which I blessingly let them have over here. Graciously allows them to have this capital over here. But pretty soon I'm going to send an army over there and kill them. Back onto the world map. Here we are. We have these grain farms, for example. These could go. I honestly still am holding a little bit of that pre-episode like 2 nostalgia, like for that small city. But when it comes to Dundarians are just big and bold. Everything they do is bombastic, and they don't really need a small start. Once they have that baseline setting, like once they have some iron coming in, a couple pottery, like, you know what I mean, all this stuff to build buildings, they can just keep going and going and going. And I think that the only thing I've found to be a decent challenge is the Mason. So what I'll have them do is, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to build some more labs, a lot more housing for all these humans, and then I'm going to put tons of different law related things in here, so that this is going to be the human zone. There'll just be a lot of humans that live here. Tilapis, we have a huge populace of, where are they? Right here. We have a huge population of tilapis as well. Tilapis are useless to me. I do not care about them, and they actually provide me nothing to my society that I don't already get from the world map. So them and Kryptonians might likely be sent to the Nether Realm, and we may just simply have humans as slaves. And it's not that I dislike the humans, it's just that they are good for what they're good for and nothing else. And all I'll have them doing is kind of sit on pumps. So the humans will operate pumps, and they'll operate warehouse, or Garthimes and everyone else will operate warehouses like Amevians and Garthimes. They're pretty quick, so I'll have them operating those. And I may even consider getting some Argonash to do it, you know? I might just buy some of them, you know? Why the heck not? Because money is no issue. If I have a problem with money, and this is very important, this guy is my friend, I can go in here, and he has $9 million to offer. And a lot of the resources that I've gathered in Conquest that I don't use, like these swords and these swords, I can immediately sell. That's $250,000. Shields, Dondarians don't know the thing. They don't even know what that means, shield. And then we put like a quarter or half of this leather armor. We get so much leather armor, and I don't have any people equipped with it, so I can literally sell however much I want. If you sell the max amount, though, you kind of diminish your return a little bit. And I usually like to let him have a gracious amount, like 130,000, you know. That boosts his happiness up a little bit, his opinion of me. But his opinion will also drop due to the fact that now I have a lot more wealth, and I'm very threatening to him. I have some emissaries sent here to help this guy, make him feel better. But eventually he's going to get tired of my bullshit. He's going to get tired of seeing $3 million in my bank and more. He's going to get tired of seeing me just balling out of control with the Cantors in my city. And I need to do something about all of these freaking slaves in these Cantor houses, man. I tried to put a bunch of benches all throughout, like, this area here. And they didn't sit there. They just wouldn't sit there. So I have to actually either build their houses or remove them from the city and sell them all. So that's going to happen. Onto the Cantors. This is Cantor Haven. I'm going to specifically try to design it in the way that I think a Cantor city would look. And from what I understand, they don't care for roundness. Yeah, they don't give a shit for anything. So they really don't have opinions about anything. It's just the Haven itself. So if the Havens lose their feelings towards you, then you lose them altogether. So if you see, like, my awe is above there. The temple is kind of resting right where I don't want it to be. Autarism is perfect. So I think the idea is that maybe I need a smaller population, because you can see I just have way too many people, and I think that they're all trying to access these services. Humans and Dondarians and Kryptonians alike. And they just don't have access to the things that they want. Actually, can I even set that? Services. Yeah, so, like, they shouldn't be going to the like, you guys get, like, no access. You shouldn't even be using the bathrooms. And I don't even want to know that you're using the physicians. And when it comes to religion, I wish you could... Yeah, I'm just going to turn off religion. You don't understand. You don't get to go to religion. I need these for my people. The Dondarians need the space. Hopefully, if I turn that off now... Yeah, it's immediately going up. 82%. So that was the problem. It was simply that there was too many dirty plebs, other plebs, not in my city population, accessing his damn temples. So hopefully that will solve that problem. Alright. And to continue, I kind of got off on track of what we were talking about. Continue on, we had expanded all of downtown here and got this square to be massive, massive, massive. And this is where we put in our mine. This Sithalon mine has been pumping out so much Scythalon ore that our people are super happy. Their environment, if you look here, is near half. I think that it could definitely get up there more, but it's not yet. And the way I'm going to solve that is I'm going to go and find one territory on the world map. I should be up something up north. Don't seem like it. Oh, there's one right here. This group right here. So what we could actually do is we'll have them send some Scythalon. 13 at a time, that's perfect. And eventually, that'll be good enough. For some reason though, this is not letting me upgrade. Even though the... Oh, it's because I don't have enough admin. We need to get our paper up there as well. But after we had established this downtown area, I kind of built in the temples, the court, the nobles, the baths, and these jailer dungeons area here, so that we can store criminals and then have them processed by the courts. We have our jeweler, our mechanic. We have a metal smelter, carpenter, paper maker, brewer, and bakery. And they all basically hire the same amount of people. I think they all can hire, yeah. Certain refineries hire the same, but the crafting stations hire a different amount. Because of the different shapes. They're differently sized shapes and buildings. These have a lot more slots for workers, and they have smaller auxiliary sites, where the refineries have much larger auxiliary sites. They all have 100% access though, so that's the most important part. I always try to match my auxiliary buildings with my workstations, so that's always at 100%. Speaking of which, we're also going to try to upgrade this in the next episode, so I have some metal smelters coming along, and it appears like they're trying to upgrade this metal smelter, which is why it's taking so long. If they had just built the base level metal smelter, that would have been easier. We have the Dundarian halls. There's 5 rows of God knows how many freaking Dundarians. Probably about 15 or 18. Somewhere in between there. Let me count. $20. Exactly 20. So that's 200, 200, 600, 800. So 1,000 Dundarians live in this area. Roughly. That's like the whole population of Dundarians living over here. That's good though. That's exactly what I'd like. And if we upgrade these buildings, that'll be even more people. Then we also have these areas. So there's 7 slots here. 7 by 5. 35. So we got a lot of different houses for the Garthumis. I spend more time caring about them because they actually do me a good service in the city. They are fast, they're good haulers, and they're great miners. And I have them mining Scythalon for the boys. And then we have our other half of the city, the warehouse district, or kind of... I keep calling it warehouse district because I keep mistaking warehouse for workshop. Because I'm dumb. I don't know why this got dug out here. I don't like that, so I'm going to actually fill that in. But we have our weaver and 2 tailors. These guys are trying to keep up with the other, usually. So I'm going to have this turn on now. I didn't have it on for a while because this was empty. But now that it's full, we're going to have these guys turn back on and have people get back to work in the tailor making clothes. We have 2 new bakers over here, and they have tons of access, usually in front of the building, to fabric, which is what these guys need, cotton, which is what he needs, clay, which is what this potter needs, and then coal and grain for this guy. Same with this one. So all of these buildings have their respective resources in front of them. Not built like that over here. These are a little smaller. They're much smaller resource piles. And I don't know if that affects them. I like this design more, though, with the big statues giving you huge amounts of awe. We have another court, and then I also built all of these dungeons. We built roughly... This is 48 times 4. That's 200, 400, 600. Roughly 600 slots for prisoners. If they're all full. Roughly. Not exactly 600. I'm not going to do the exact math right now. Too lazy. We have these 2 giant warehouses which have over 320 crates a pop, and I'm looking to upgrade them. like I said, need cut stone so badly that I plan to potentially make more of these. I might have like the entire area over here just stone mines or stone masons, because we can never keep up with how much cut stone the city actually needs. Just the same way we can't keep up with the mass graves situation. I got these 2 mass graves, and then I have 4 mass graves over here, and they're all constantly filling up. Speaking of which, we also have our coal makers, the charcoalers. These guys were doing pretty good at the beginning, and now they're slowing down. I think the reason for that is that we have 2 new bakers over here, and they're taking up all the coal in the city, and they can't keep up with it. So we need to get some of our regions on the world map, like maybe this guy or any of these guys up here, like him, the Fallen Fields. They have access to tons of coal, and we're gonna come in there and take them out. Same with this guy. This Peaks Buyer would be a good contender to take, because they've got some good access to ore and minerals. So yeah, gonna be a lot more fights, a lot more battles in the series to come. I hope you guys enjoyed this short little recap. Oh yeah, I forgot to kind of cover over here. Oh no, I did. This is just our laboratory zone and where the humans live. I try to be as concise as possible, but I know I jump around, and sometimes I'll edit out myself when I ramble. So I'm learning, and I hope you guys will stick with me through it. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.